Who's this guy? Oh, I can talk to you now.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Ha, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest. I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our
Sit
whole
down.
family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
Oh my god,
I can't
dude.
dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Okay.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson. And he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction?
Wow.
You'll get nothing but
Okay, you
shame,
know what? No.
as always. Suit yourself.
No, we're doing this.
We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. They don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Yeah.
You don't know which
Who
end
told you
of that
that?
thing is up. Cover your right side. You've got a
What the
gap
fuck
there I
was
can
that?
drive a cart through.
They teach you that in the seminary?
Just like in Kosovo.
What the...
Charge and no mercy.
Not bad for a priest.
Yeah.
Left arm lower.
Who taught you that?
Stand firm. Otherwise, the first strike will put you
hell.
on your arse.
Do they teach you that in the
Squeeze
seminary?
with your whole arm, not just your wrist.
We're like we're telling him how we're giving him tips while we're beating him. That's great.
What's wrong with your legs?
That will do.
What's wrong with your legs?
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. You could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
At
The first time he
6?
took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were.
Wow.
There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
Oh, see, now, this is assuming that he, like, I have a feeling we're going to tell him everything, and he's just going to go to his dad and just tell his dad everything. So I don't know enough about this guy to make that choice.
Do I have any choice?
If it's really that important, you don't.
All right, then.
Oh, okay, we're just
You've
doing
heard
it.
of Yob's
Okay.
plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one.
Look at all these people in chat saying, it's cool, he's your brother. Yeah, the other guy's also his dad. Like, what? And we're the brother he just met 35 seconds ago, and everything he's heard about us has been shit. So, I mean...
You're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
Well, that sounds
You're
good.
starting to sound like a brother.
Now, let's see if he actually performs. Wait. Look at our boys over there. Nice. Is he gonna do this now? I kind of want to see what the dad is gonna, like how the dad's gonna react knowing we won the duel. Talk to Hanush and then we'll go back out and talk to them in a second. Oh. Okay, so we just can't do anything here.
Couldn't she tell him to go to hell
Okay,
herself?
cool. So I guess that was it for now. Huh.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation. Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
I don't think that's how that saying
Surely
goes.
they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again.
Butt
Let's hope he'll
spoons.
take better
That's right.
care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man of him soon enough.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean, a proper one.
Thank you, Aaron.
Not
Appreciate
just
you, buddy.
sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile,
Damn.
help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Uranium Bullet. Yeah, I mean, you know, the last few years have been pretty great for some of those types of games. We got Stalker 2 at the end of last year. This year's been a lot of fun with KCD2, and we have some good ones in line. Hopefully we'll get Larian's next project soon. In Exiles is looking really good as well. We got Outer Worlds 2 later this year, so yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. Is that cat falling off the cat tower? Yes.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir.
Slosta 2.
As it happens,
Chernobyl 2.
There's something I'd like to ask you.
Okay.
What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
Hold on, let me see if that one is melted.
I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest.
Why didn't Divish of Talberg come?
Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle.
So,
Praise the Lord!
funny story. We did not in our playthrough, but you very much can sleep with Divish's wife in KCD1. And it's this timeline is a little suspect. Uh-oh.
Take a look at that.
And apparently sleeping with Divish's wife, we have now confirmed, is most likely canon. Okay. Well. Look at Henry siring bastards all over the place. Good for him. Just like good old Da.
Hey, where's that beer?
We're trying to forge an alliance against our common enemy.
They're trying to do...
You seem a bit out of sorts. Anything wrong?
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have to do next.
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze. And the gossip.
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting here?
Innkeeper, a beer.
Yes, I'm going to tell him everything because I like him.
It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies. For his own ends.
And how's he gonna do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail here just a while ago?
Well, different approaches work with different people.
The only approach that'll work with Sigismund is open resistance. Maybe on the field of battle?
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages
Dude, I love
to stay
Zizka.
free
He's
for
awesome.
a while longer. Ever since leaving Ratai, he's gone from one pile of trouble to another.
That's one thing you can always count on him for. I'll gladly wager with you he'll end up in some other shit by evening.
God forbid. Henry's not here now to pull him out of it.
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave him to disgrace himself in front of Hanush.
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear or convenience.
Well, that's to be expected. As long as Sigismund has the city council under his thumb, no one will rock the boat.
Well, at least there's a few individuals here, like Ruthard.
Sigismund confiscated his castle and half his estates. That'd be enough to make a man mad. Not to mention that his son was killed in the siege of the city.
Hmm.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
Need to play some dice is what I need. No, we're good.
Hey, innkeeper, that beer?
Sir Botschek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Don't worry, it's not just your money I want to draw on. Believe it or not, we've gained other patrons for our cause too.
Really? Name at least one of those lunatics then.
Anna of Volstein, for instance.
Truly? Well, let's see about it then.
I wouldn't mention the word lunatic.
All right, let's discuss it, candidly. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
Good for you, Dad. Yeah. Oh.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
Oh my god, are we gonna have to woo off Capon? Wait.
I'd be honored to oblige. I'm in my prime.
Forget about it.
Ha!
Even if by some miracle you could manage to sire children, you'd die before you could raise them.
The truth doesn't offend, my lord. But I had to give it a try. How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh?
Hey. Yes? Okay.
On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our alliance.
I don't care what the young lord thinks.
Hey, Chad, help this guy out if you can.
Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
I'm gonna go talk to Capon first. Acidolphus says, hey everyone, JCBP. JCBP. Acidolphus, good to see you today. So, about that life that you had envisioned for yourself that we talked about earlier.
I've got some good news and some bad news for you.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole damned place.
Funny
There's
you'd
some old
say
bat
that.
standing there.
What if I could tell you that you would have a female for the rest of your life? Ah, look at this. Look, things are looking up.
With 2 young girls, but she watches over them like a mother hen. So at least tell me the good news.
You're going to get married.
Good one. Is she at least pretty?
By the way, a little bit of a funny side here. Lord Hans Capon is an actual person in history. He actually existed. And in actual history, he married Yitka.
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin.
Pretty fun.
Wait till Hanush hears this. Now.
Spoilers. Yeah, sorry.
Enough nonsense. Let's have a drink. To
In
your health.
Raptor Streams is actual history. Yes, this game is historical fiction, but obviously a lot of it is based on real locations, real people, and real events. So even though this is obviously a different version of the Hans in history, for instance, the real Lord Hans Capon, all of the events that happened in this game, he would have been 15 years old. So he would have been significantly younger than our Lord Hans. And on top of that, there are events that Lord Hans has done in this game that the real one had nothing to do with. So even though the character is real, it is a fictionalized version of him. Our Hans is not 15 years old in this game. I think he's like early 20s or late teens or something, but he is much older, and there's other liberties they take as well. Yeah.
And my freedom.
To your health, dude.
To your health.
Yep. How old is Henry? Henry is supposed to be, I think, around the same age as Hans. Yep. I think they're both like 20s. Early 20s. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's happening. Let's go talk to Hanush. Thank you, Jalket.
I feel quite thirsty.
Oh yeah, Jan Zizka is wildly. Oh look, she's giving him a little massage. It's so nice of her. Look, you can see how that chicken is like. Oh, that feels so good.
Take a look at that. A nightingale, Sir
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I gained you an ally.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Botschek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? My Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up.
Oh, by the way, somebody said a really good point about Hans Capon, is that the real one was 15, and actually in this game world, that's true. Children haven't been invented in this version of the KCD2 world. If you haven't noticed, there's no children in this world. They actually have not been created yet. In about 100 years' time is when children are invented. So in this world, everyone's just adults. And that's another liberty they take in the fictional universe. Yeah, that children are not real yet.
The hell did you do it?
It's a win-win situation, dude. It's fine.
Well, I explained to him how such an alliance could be mutually beneficial.
Mutually? What do you mean?
He's got a pretty serious personal interest in this bond.
Stop beating around the bush and spit out what you promised him.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt.
Okay, now we have to guess. What is his reaction going to be? My guess is he's going to be super, super excited that Hans is finally going to be put in a position where he has to be responsible. I think he's going to be elated about this. That's what I think. I think we might even get a "Are you yanking my pizzle" from him. What do you guys think? You think so? Okay, let's see. Here we go.
Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kronstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Ratte.
Oh, I love it!
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you, and to your parlaying skills.
I love Hanush so much. The only thing I don't like about Hanush is apparently in real life, this is another real life character. Apparently the real life version of Hanush was a real asshole. I feel like Hanush is very likable in this game. Apparently he'd no. Yeah, no. Wait, can I talk to you? Who are you, Konrad? Hold up. Who is this guy?
Sir, I don't believe I've had the honor.
Nor I, until now. I am Sir Konrad, Lord of Vechta. And you are the heir to the Lord of Rabosh, are you not?
You are drunk.
Used to be. My father somewhat disowned me some time ago.
And I used to be the Royal Mint Master, until the king decided to replace me.
Oh. Interesting.
We've got quite a bit in common, wouldn't you say?
More than you think. If my memory doesn't deceive me, you serve as a parish priest. So I recollect, at least, from my recent discussions with Martin.
Served. That's in the past.
Even so. Before King Wenceslas appointed me his mint master, I was a priest. I was even being groomed to become a bishop.
And now look at us. We have cast off our robes and merrily hatched plots against Sigismund.
There's no point in waiting for divine intervention.
Iron Man says mint fake money. No. He was the actual guy that helped mint the currency. Mint master is a position. He's basically the guy that oversees currency creation.
On the contrary, the current state of affairs demands quite a secular approach.
Do you think you might get your position as Mint Master back again?
I doubt it. Half the town hates Vavak, but no one would even think of saying a word against him. And he knows that his security stands and falls with his function, so he clings to it tooth and nail.
Are you going to support the Margrave's proposal?
I haven't quite decided yet. It's true that displeasure against the king is noticeably growing in Kuttenberg, but if our rebellion were to come face to face with Sigismund's army, I'd be
Dude is talking to me with his eyes more closed than open.
Risking my future, if not my life.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Two drunks drunken it up. I love it. Oh. Oh.
Super chat. You should check out the real Jan Žižka. He is a Czech national hero until today. Crazy dude. He even had a woman. Guess her name. Begins with K.
Catherine? No kidding. That's fun, man. Yeah, I knew Žižka was real. I didn't know Catherine was
Your
real.
niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kronstadt.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
You're damn right we will.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yivka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
Ha! Just like marriage, here's to a good bargain. Wow. This has been like such an incredibly welcome, fun experience. I had no clue we were going to go back to Godwin. I thought everything that we're seeing now, we were just going to hear from a side character about what happened later. Like, being able to play through this and everything is awesome. Just awesome. This has been, the last hour has just been so wonderful.
But maybe you were right. It was probably not the best idea to gather all the lords under one roof.
At other times, I
I
would
am very
celebrate
drunk.
here.
Do I have any hair of this? I don't. Oh, God.
Can you admit a mistake, Margrave? But if I were you, I wouldn't lose faith just yet. Sometimes all you need to do is send the right man to whisper the right words into the right ears.
You mean you managed to convince someone? Someone influential?
Not at all. I managed nothing. But I have found someone who could pull a thorn out of our side and get some influential people to join our cause.
And who is this secret envoy of yours?
He's drunk, standing right beside you. It is me, Goblin.
I'm still hoping it works out
No?
and we
Oh,
walk out
next
of
time.
here with a clear plan. But maybe you were right. It was probably not the best idea to gather all the lords under one.
So I'm wondering, like, maybe there is a hair of the dog sitting around somewhere?
Why?
What? Jeez. Ah, late. Let's do this real quick. What if we can go in this tower? Hey, Misu.